A saga da família mais rica da televisão está perto de acabar. Meu nome é Raquel Carneiro e esse é o programa da VEJA em Cartaz. E eu conversei com o elenco da série Succession da HBO sobre a trajetória que se encerra na nova temporada. Succession chegou à sua quarta e última temporada e promete apresentar um desfecho para a complexa relação da família Roy. O clã liderado por Logan Roy está em pé de guerra pelo controle do conglomerado bilionário criado pelo patriarca. Um drama que vai muito bem em audiência e nas premiações.
Plenty on my plate.
He's on the floor, Tom.
Explain to me what he's doing.
He's moseying, terrifyingly moseying. It's like if Santa Claus was a hitman.
Eu falei com alguns dos atores da série que analisaram essa trajetória e também comentaram as ligações de Succession com a obra de Shakespeare. Confira.
So, Kendall has been through a lot, so how was it to dive with him through all these emotions?
Sometimes difficult, sometimes painful, always very fulfilling for me as an actor. I heard somebody once said that what an actor does is be an emotional athlete. So Kendall is like an emotional decathlon. And that's kind of all you can hope for as an actor. It doesn't mean it's necessarily easy, but it is very rewarding.
It's that. You know, in Buddhism, sometimes your greatest tormentor can also be your most perceptive teacher.
Hey, Buddha, nice Tom Fords.
I've read you came from a poor reality, so how was it to get into this super wealthy kind of world?
People are people, I guess, you know? That's the thing about this show. I meet people all over the world who feel connected to struggles of these characters across all kinds of socioeconomic backgrounds. People who don't come from a wealthy family or a super wealthy family like this. Of course, there are material differences in people's life, and poverty is a terrible thing. If you have $1 billion, in a lot of ways, it makes your life much easier, right? But at the same time, part of what this show is looking at and examining, I think it's showing you that a lot of that stuff is window dressing and a backdrop to your life. And that the existential experience of being a human being and being in a family is pretty universal. We all feel pain, we all feel confusion, we all want validation, we all want to be accepted. All of those things are what makes it, I think, Shakespearean and universal. And the rest is almost secondary.
We've been schooled by a barbarian that goes by the name Logan Roy.
Succession is compared to Shakespeare's play King Lear. You came from a long theater experience, so do you agree with this comparison?
I've heard that comparison before. I think it's really apt. I don't know how consciously the writers had that in mind, but there's a lot about the show that's Shakespearean in general. Like, it has low comedy and it has the highest drama in it all at once. It has like big themes of, you know, like in our country, we don't have kings and queens like they do in the Shakespeare plays. But if we did, I mean, inside our corporation, Logan is king and those guys are princes, and who will succeed him. And that's a very ancient sort of dilemma like you'd have in a Shakespeare play.
Gerri's pretty much the only female into this very male world. So what kind of features you see in her that helped her to succeed into this place?
I feel like Gerri is a character who's come up in when, you know, business was even more a man's world, and that she's very seasoned and sort of unflappable to all the kind of mean, cruel jokes. And, you know, they don't really get to her. She might wince when Roman says something really vulgar or something, but she's pretty tough. And her experience and her knowledge of the law is what I think protects her.
By the way, her relationship, if that is the right word, with Roman, Kieran Culkin characters, is one of the funniest part of the show. So how did you find the right tone for this flirtation?
It was really, really fun. Kieran and I have known each other actually a long time, although we got to know each other much better doing this show. But he's just very fun to work with. He's very loose and inventive, and it was just such an unlikely storyline. And we used to kind of, joke, flirt on set, and then writers sort of noticed it and put it in. And it was so like everything else in the show, kind of surprising and funny and odd. And then it just kept going, which was really nice.
Would you like to give Kendall some advice?
I'm so inside of it when I'm doing it. My job is really to be committed entirely to whatever Kendall is doing.
Right.
So there hasn't really been room for Jeremy to have an opinion about it. I'm sure I could diagnose all kinds of things that don't serve Kendall. And the question that Jesse Armstrong asked at the very beginning, which is about family legacy and can you escape legacy? Can you escape family? I would have wanted Kendall to get on that boat in Croatia and go to Greece with Naomi and leave it all and just try and start his own life as an individual. But that wasn't in the cards for him. But yeah, my job is to be squarely in the trenches with the character.
Mr. Mencken, my most unworthy opponent.
Still clinging to your slice of pie.
What are you at now?
1%.
The fear is it could get squeezed.
Squeezed down? From 1? Because that's the lowest number.
Well, Succession usually have great season finales, and there's a high expectation for this last season. So how did you feel about this end?
It's bittersweet because I'll miss working with everybody, but I think Jesse's absolutely right to end it now and end it on a really high note. I honestly think it's our best season yet, and I think that the viewers will really be satisfied with the way it all plays out.
Are you satisfied with Connor's end?
Yeah, he's been a fun guy to spend some time with, and yeah, I think it ends up exactly where it's supposed to be for everyone.
E esse foi o Em Cartaz. A gente se vê com mais dicas na próxima semana.